What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Damien Crier, and I'm back with another reaction video. I hope you guys are having a wonderful, blessed, and amazing day. Me, I'm doing okay, guys. Basically, I'm gonna be reacting tonight to this video. Ayla lost her hearing by the Prince family. You know, this is probably gonna be a pretty emotional video for me, because there's a lot of things that I just recently found out about the situation with my granddaughter. And I can say for me, you know, like, it really bothers me because Ayla has been here for a little over a month, almost 2 months now. Maybe it is she's been here just over 2 months. And I just found this out because I was paying close attention to a conversation me and my kids was having. And like, I had to pause for a minute, like, what did you just say? And so I'm just gonna jump right into this video, man. After the video, man, don't forget to, I'm not gonna say like, I'm just gonna say, after this video, comment on this video and let me know what your thoughts is on this video. And if you have a child or a family member who's going through something like this, leave your comments in the comment section down below. So without further ado, we're just gonna jump right into this video.
You know, and basically we dealt with a lot of hate. You know, since we started doing YouTube, we dealt with a lot of hate over the last year, before last. I mean, in order to become successful, you're gonna have to deal with hate.
Yeah, hate's gonna come.
It comes with the territory. So that was our last daughter, you know. And now we have another daughter, which is baby Ayla. And now we already pretty much know what the comments are gonna say. Not like the comments in our YouTube comment section, but like comments like on other platforms once we put this out there. People are gonna judge us. I mean, but it's all good. Yeah, this is what this is what you get. This is what y'all deserve.
Whatever else they come with.
Any negative comment, you know, they'll turn anything positive to negative, but we try to turn anything negative to positive.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, if you come here to judge, I mean, that's shame on you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel bad for you if you want to comment something negative, you know, about our daughter, about situation we going through, we in right now.
Honestly, they're gonna have to deal with that. They're gonna have to talk to God about that. Like, they're gonna have to get disciplined by Him because of the stuff that they're saying. And you know, it's people out here that are really rude. But like David said, we try to turn everything negative into something positive, and just thank God for everything that we are blessed with. Thank God for the situations that we are in. You know. Everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. We just, you know, we pray every day, pray every night, pray all the time. Some things out of our control, which is understandable.
And it's true, you know, as they're saying, as they're doing the intro of their video and stuff, you know, people are gonna already prejudge you off that video. Especially when it comes to children, man. You know, before this video was dropped, they probably already knew that they were going to be prejudged even before this video even aired, because we live in a world where everybody is so freaking judgmental. It's like when you put something out there like this, it's really hurtful to see some of the comments that people say when they look at your child and they say your child looks like this or your child looks like that. That stuff is really hurtful, man. And it's like, it only affects you if it's pertaining to one of your children. But people don't see that. They only look at the big picture. I mean, the small picture. And the small picture sometimes is just, ha, 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 it's you and it's not me. And that, you know, for me, it just really, really sucks to see some of the comments that people would actually go above and beyond to say. I seen a video where they dropped a video of Ayla, and showed her, and some of the comments that people were saying was just really, really hurtful to me as a grandfather and to my kids as the parents. And I think sometimes people say stuff just to get a like. And at the end of the day, was your comment that you just said about this baby really worth a freaking like?
So 2 months ago, well, a little over 2 months ago, our baby girl Ayla was born, our second daughter, our fourth child.
Exactly.
And basically, we had to stay in the hospital for an extra, usually people stay in the hospital for 1 day. We had to stay there for, was it 3 days?
It was 3 days, 2 nights. 3 days, 2 nights.
And it was because basically she was having a few complications, like, you know, she couldn't hear out of one of her ears, you know, and...
if you guys had babies, you guys know that when you're in the hospital, your baby has to do, I think, a hearing and an eye test, like just to make sure everything's still good. And they have to pass that test in order to be able to leave.
Yep. So they actually kept us there extra night. So the doctors or the nurse or whoever the person was, they came in to check her hearing, and one of her ears was good, the other one wasn't
As good.
It wasn't as good. So the next day they came back in the room. They were like, "We see you tomorrow morning."
Tested her again.
And the results was the same. Mm-hmm. So we ended up leaving the hospital, and I think
Yeah, you guys know how that is. Oh shoot, wait a minute, guys. You guys know how that is. I recently, when my son Dion was recently born, almost 2 weeks ago, they had actually taken him to another room. I remember me and his mom was a little frustrated, like, where's our baby at? Where's our baby? What are they doing with our baby? But I guess that's called a pediatrician. So what they do is they take the baby, they check the hearing, the vision, and all those different things like that to make sure the baby, everything on the baby is functioning well. And so we was paranoid because they had the baby for like almost an hour. And so we both was kind of freaking out a little bit. The mom was freaking out a little bit more than I was. So, but at the end of the day, they brought our baby back and let us know that he was okay. He was really healthy and stuff. So
a few weeks later, like a week later,
it was a week or two later,
we had to schedule a doctor appointment because our baby girl had to see a specialist.
Well, no, we had to go back to the hospital.
Oh, the hospital.
We had to go back to the hospital like a week or two later, and then after that, and then we had to schedule to see a specialist.
So when we went back to the hospital again, for the third time, it was the same result.
Same result.
She couldn't hear one of her ears. And then we had to go see a specialist, and it really sucks, man, because I'm not even able to be there for my daughter. I feel like, and I can't be next to Bianca either at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, Bianca then went to like so many freaking appointments by herself.
I don't know how many. It's like,
if you was to take a guess, how many?
I would say like in the last 2 months, I went to maybe like, what do you think, like 10 or more appointments?
Probably.
It was a lot of appointments, and the appointments are all over the place. Yep. Some are far, some are close. It's like it's a lot of driving. It's just a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And so we went to go see the first specialist, which was an audiologist. And due to COVID, Damien can't come to any of the appointments. It's only one parent. So we went to go see the audiologist, and they did the test. We were there for
This COVID thing has really changed our lives. You know what I'm saying? You guys know my situation, my recent situation. It was really hard for me because I wanted to be at a lot of the appointments and stuff, and I know that they would not allow you in the appointment, and that's no fault of the moms at all. That's just, that's the way of the doctor offices plan things safe because of the COVID-19. And again, that's not the mom's fault of what's going on with the COVID. That's just, that's just the reality of what we're dealing with. It's a part of our everyday life.
A long time, like 3 hours. She passed in one of her ears, like immediately, like super quick.
Mm-hmm.
And in the second ear, the lady was struggling. She was just like, yeah, so the results I got from the hospital, the results that I'm getting today are actually worse. And she was like, but let's just not worry about it. I'm gonna have you go see an ENT doctor. We went to see an ENT doctor, and they didn't do a hearing test there. They just talked to me, and they scheduled an MRI because they asked me. They said, does Damien have hearing loss in his family? Do you have hearing loss in your family? And I'm like, no, neither one of us. So they scheduled an MRI. The MRI came back clear. Her brain looks good. Both her ears looked good. So then we had to schedule a doctor, a pediatrician, and her pediatrician had to get a urine test. And the urine test was testing for CMV. Now, I don't know if you guys know what that is because I didn't know what that is. She was like, we're just gonna test for CMV and we're gonna see what the results are. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. The results came back and it said that,
Don't cry, you don't gotta cry. Anyway, you can, let it out. No, it's alright. It's okay.
The results came back and said that she was positive for CMV, and I have no idea what that is. Basically, it's an infection or disease type of thing. I still don't know what it is. All I know is that it's normal for adults to get it, and we all get, I guess, some time in our lives without us knowing. We just have like a common cold with it. So basically what happens was I must have got sick during my pregnancy.
For me, man, this is like the most hurtful thing in the world, man. You know, to see a mom sitting there crying because of something's wrong with her baby. And, you know, like being that we live in a judgmental world, man, it's like you're afraid that your child or children are going to be judged by other people. And the sad truth of it is the world that we live in now is facts. You know, I remember when Damon was in school and he had chipped tooth, he had a really bad stuttering problem. People used to always judge him because he had a stuttering problem and a chipped tooth and stuff like that. It's like people are going to judge you no matter what. But it's really hurtful to, you know, just to even see this right now.
Sure.
I must have got sick during my pregnancy, and since I was carrying her and she eats everything that I eat and she drank everything that I drank, I have passed it to her through the placenta, and I gave it to her. And there's been multiple times where I would cry to myself, or I would tell Damien, like, this is all my fault. She has hearing loss because of me. And he had to explain to me that there's nothing that we could have done to prevent this. It's like, I don't even know, like 1 out of what, every 100 babies or something?
I think one out of...
What is it?
I think it's like 1 out of every 100 or 2 out of every 100.
Basically, babies get it, but it's not like people aren't talking about this. People aren't, you know, trying to find a way to prevent this from happening. When you go to the doctor and go to doctor appointments, they don't test you for that. But during my whole entire pregnancy, my doctor, she did say that, oh, your baby's measuring smaller than she should be. And that's one of the side effects of CMV, is that a baby could be on the smaller side. The baby could have a smaller head. The baby could have vision loss. The baby could have hearing loss. The baby could have speech, problems. The baby could be non-verbal at all. The baby could be non-functionable at all. Like, there's so many things that could happen that we're unaware of. Like, it could actually be worse than what she has. And I'm forever thankful, for her just having the hearing loss that she has. Now, that's not saying that as she grows up that she won't, have speech delay, or she won't have hearing loss in the other ear. She won't, it's unknown. We don't know. All we know right now is that she has hearing loss in one of her ears, and the hearing loss is getting worse and worse every appointment that we go to. I think she said it's an 80% chance that it can go to her other ear. So far her other ear is...
Jesus, that's like, for me, man, for a grandpa, that's sitting here watching this and, knowing that there's an 80% chance that it can go to her other ear later on down the line, that's pretty hard, man. Because it's not really the mom's fault, and it's definitely not the baby's fault. It's something that's unknown. I think Bianca said that it happens 1 in every 100 babies. It's hard to even really fathom something like that happening, especially because when you have a baby, you want to make sure that you have a healthy baby, and you want the best for your baby. You watching your baby grow over the years and learn how to walk, the teeth start coming in, the crawling, the being potty trained and all that stuff, and but I could imagine that it's got to be extremely hard for them right now.
Still good. It's still healthy. She can still hear out of it. And we've just been keeping this to ourselves for so long because it's hard to talk about, because we've never had to go through anything like this. All of our other kids are, 100% healthy. Not saying that she's not healthy, because she is healthy. She just has that little, hearing loss, which is not going to stop her from anything. She is meant to be on this world, and she's a special child, and everything happens for a reason. It's kind of opened my eyes more to make me look at life differently, to make me realize, it's not nice to talk about other people. It's not nice to judge other people because you don't know them. You don't know what they're going through. And it's opened my eyes to make me value life more, because I see this thing on TikTok, and it was like a saying that I don't know how to explain it, but basically our lives are temporary. All the people that we're meeting is temporary. This stuff isn't permanent. But we have a permanent mindset because of the love we have for people and the way we are on this earth. But it's just temporary. So while you're here, love people, like, have fun, do what you have to do. Stop being negative, because you don't know what people are going through. Yeah. And today she actually got her hearing aid, and there's just so much that still goes on with this. Mm-hmm. And I'm just so confused and lost still, and I blame myself for it.
Well, it's not your fault,
that's wow. Oh my God. Bianca said that she blamed herself for this. Bianca, it's not your fault. If you're watching this reaction video, I know that it's late. But if you are watching this reaction video, just know that it's not your fault, sweetheart. It's not your fault. When women are carrying babies, we don't know what goes on through their body. We don't know what's going on inside them. We don't know what a woman goes through. I recently had a son, a very beautiful, healthy son at that. And I'm extremely, extremely grateful. I don't know what all his mom went through while she was carrying him. I know that she was sick a lot, off and on. I witnessed it. I witnessed my cousins go through pregnancies. I witnessed friends go through pregnancies. And when something goes wrong, the first thing a woman does is blame themselves for what happened. And there's a lot of foreseen things or unseen things that we don't see that occurs within the body that could change the trajectory of how the child comes out. And that's not you guys' fault, why that happens or how that happens. We just know that it happens, but don't blame yourself for something that's unseen. I've been around you guys a lot. I know that the pregnancies are always healthy, as far as you're eating correctly, you're drinking the right stuff, you're eating the right foods, you're getting the right exercises, you're going to all the appointments. So don't blame yourself when something goes wrong, because you did everything that you could do to prevent anything from happening. So it's not your fault.
Oh,
it is, but it isn't.
It's not your fault. This could happen to anybody. This could happen to any of our kids. There's nothing we can do. Everything happened for a reason, Everything happened for a reason. Our daughter, she's still very healthy. Mm-hmm. She's very beautiful. Mm-hmm. And she's very special. All our kids are special. Mm-hmm. They all stars in my eyes. And she's going to be great. I don't think her not being able to hear in one ear regularly like a regular person is going to stop her from doing great things in life. Mm-hmm. She's still going to be great. Look at her. Just hold her up. Look how beautiful she is. Look how beautiful is she sleep right now. Look at these cheeks. Look how beautiful she is.
I have to stop right there for a second, guys. When Ayla was first born, and I still say it right to this day, Ayla looks so much like Kyrie. Comment down below if you guys think that Ayla looks a lot like Kyrie. Whenever you have a baby and you have multiple babies by the same person, you can start seeing a resemblance in some of the other kids versus the kids that's recently born. Ayla looks so much like Kyrie. I said it back then and I'm saying it now. Look at her. She is so freaking beautiful, man. She looks identical to Kyrie. I've always said that. They didn't believe me at first, but now they're starting to see that Ayla has a lot of Kyrie features. She really does, guys.
Want to wake her up. He said, hey, daddy. Okay, daddy.
There's
that's
still
not
so
going.
much more that I could probably talk about. My mind is literally blank right now. Like,
Just speak freely. I mean, just speak freely. Whatever's in your mind, you say it. At the end of the day, this can happen to anybody, and it has. Like I told Bianca, well, you guys don't know. I told Bianca this. I said, at first, when that stuff first happened, when we first found out the news, I'm like, after the first few appointments, I said, everything will be all right. Don't worry about it. And then as Bianca started going to more and more appointments by herself, she come home and she'll tell me this news. I'm like, dang, we might have to prepare ourselves, for the worst, information, the worst news. And I told Bianca, I said, well, listen, we always try to find positive in every negative situation. And the first thing that came to mind is this: it could have been worse.
that's true.
There's other people out here. Worse things has happened to their kids, unfortunately.
There's actually people who have the CMV where it's like way worse, and I don't know how they do it because I'm struggling with this. And to you guys, it may not be a big deal, but to us it is because this is new to us. We don't really know how to cope with it yet. We've only known for, 2 months, and within those 2 months we've gotten so much information that it's kind of like, how do you take it all in,
And then COVID don't make it no better because I can't. They won't allow me to go to no appointments.
Exactly. So I have to come home and tell him everything and the stuff that I'm probably forgetting to tell him because I've learned so much. And he's like, well, what about this? I'm like, well, I don't know because I didn't ask that question. When I first found out the news, I was at the doctor's and I went in the car and the first thing I did was cry. And I don't know. I called my mom and I just cried and I said, how are we going to tell people this? I was just like, how are we going to tell people this? How are people going to understand? Like, I don't want people to judge her. I don't want her to get any type of hate. I don't want people to look at her any differently. I don't want people to treat her differently when she gets older. I don't want people to talk about her because people have, committed suicide and stuff for that. Like, people, bullying is a real thing. And me and Damien, as parents, we're going to try and do the best that we can to let all of our kids know that they are handsome, they are beautiful. Don't let anybody tell you anything different, no matter what people say about you.
I'm gonna stop right there for a second, guys. One thing about bullying, like Bianca said, man, bullying is one of the most awful things that a person can ever experience. These kids, these children, and not just children, people of older age are actually taking their own lives because bullying is real. It's real. You guys see me doing this a lot in some of my videos. It's something I've been doing all my life. I have a problem squinting my eyes really hard. I don't do it on purpose, and I try to force myself not to do it in certain videos, but I have to be myself. It's a defect that I have. It's something I was talked about when I was younger. You notice if I talk a little fast, I start stuttering. Damon, he's the same way, he stutters. My daughter Margaret, same, she stutters. Darian, if he talks too fast, he stutters. And it's something I was picked on with as a younger person, and I always thought because of my squinting my eyes like that or stuttering, I always thought that it was a bad thing, but I learned to control it by slowing down, talking a little bit slower, and not getting myself too hyped up and, too bent out of shape or get too excited. But it's something that I had dealt with. I dealt with bullying, being bullied, as I was younger. I got videos on my channel from maybe 3-4 years ago when I first started doing YouTube where I talked about being bullied. And bullying is real, and it's it only takes one thing to people find out that you have some type of, defect or some type of burn mark on your back, or you got some weird or abnormal mold on your chest, and people find out about that and they take that and run with it. Especially going through school, man. Kids can be really, really ruthless. And it's not even just school, but if you're a YouTuber and you have kids, it's even more dangerous because you have people in the comment section saying stuff about it and just constantly just making it worse than what it really is. So, bullying is something really, really serious, man. I think that that's something that people don't raise enough awareness on, is bullying. But I just want to just touch on that real quick.
just know deep down in your heart that you're beautiful, you're handsome, you're a star. You know what I'm saying? And we tell our kids every day how much we love them. We tell them every single day how handsome and beautiful they are. And I feel like we have to, because this world is so fucked up. It really is. This world is like, this world is mean. And we didn't even want to show her. We didn't even want to DJ and Kyrie, we was already on YouTube, so like we just kind of like showed them. But even Nova and her, we didn't want to show them right away because, for example, what happened, you know, when Nova was born, people took stuff and they twisted our words and made it worse than what it was. You think we want our daughter to grow up and feel like we didn't want her to be here in this world? No, not at all. Like, we want our daughter, we got our daughter, and she's the best thing that happened to us. All of our kids are. But it's just like, people can be so manipulative and so rude. And so we didn't want to tell you guys, but we, you know, talked about it, and we had to, because some of y'all are family. Y'all, you know, y'all go on the road with us and y'all are down for us no matter what. And we appreciate that.
And we love you guys.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, it's like eventually you guys are gonna know eventually.
Exactly.
Because you guys know we do our vlogs and videos and
kids are in it.
You know, we don't want to just show. I don't want to just, you know, we don't want to just be vlogging and you guys like, yo, what's that in her ear?
Yeah.
Because you guys are gonna see it, you know, and
because it's not like you can't hide it. It's right there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So we just thought it was just, you know, best if we just, you know, come on here and tell you guys. Like a few weeks ago, some of you guys got Facebook, some of you guys don't got Facebook and Twitter. Like, it was a video we had did. It was called Ayla's night routine.
Oh.
And people had took a screenshot of the thumbnail and they shared it all over the place on Twitter and Facebook. And people were sending it to us and they was making jokes talking about some, oh, y'all baby look old, y'all baby like an old woman.
It's like she needs to sit.
And that's exactly what I was talking about, man. You want to share part of your personal life with your YouTube fans, because your YouTube fans are like family, especially when they watch you grow over the years. They get to know you and your kids. And it's like to try to share something positive with people and then people make a mockery out of it. You know, calling an innocent baby all those type of names and stuff. And for a grandfather, for me to be the grandfather, to have to really see those type of comments, it's just really disgusting, man. It's really heart-wrenching to see that. You know, people can be really cruel. I mean, if it affects adults my age, what do you think it does with a child 4 or 5 years old that has to hear this stuff?
Cigarette.
Yeah, they were talking about her head got the cradle cap. Now, she got cradle cap. We told everybody that, you know?
We can't prevent that from happening. It happens to a lot of it. It's really, really common.
All I gotta say is this. I mean, what goes wrong comes right back around. You know what I'm saying? So don't be out here trying to judge people, kids, stuff like that, because you never know. I mean, God watching over everything.
Yeah.
Because eventually you might have kids of your own, or you already might got kids of your own, or maybe you might be already going through something, or maybe you got bullied when you was a kid. You might be getting bullied now, so you probably feel like, hey, I'm behind a computer screen. Let me comment, talk my shit.
Let me cyberbully.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you gotta live with the results of your
internet gangster,
so
basically.
We're gonna take care of ours no matter what. We're gonna keep moving forward. We're gonna keep loving our baby girl. She's so beautiful, and I'm gonna keep loving my wife, loving my family. I scared her to live by.
She's knocked out, y'all.
Guys, she literally was just up before we did this video. Before we started this video, she literally was just wide awake. I don't know what happened.
She was. I feel like I'm missing a lot, but I can't even think right now.
So you want to show them? All right. So basically, our process of what Bianca told me. So, all right. So how does this process work? So like today, Bianca went there to. You had an appointment today with Ayla, and they gave her this right here. This right here. This is
so small.
Very tiny.
Is her hearing aid.
Yes.
Yep, this is her hearing aid right here. So this goes in her ear, and this is actually a temporary one. And how long?
This one is hers. This piece right here, the mold, the small piece, this mold is hers. This right here is a loaner.
Okay.
The reason that we have a loaner is because she needs to wear it for 3 months to see how she's coping with it, to see if, just to see if her hearing's getting worse, if it's helping her. And we actually have another audiologist appointment next month where she will have another hearing test done. And if her hearing is getting worse, then we're actually going to look into a cochlear implant. With that being said, I'm not really sure what a cochlear implant is. I just know that it's basically like a magnet. It's surgery, okay? It's a magnet that has to go inside of her head, and then she'll have a piece on the outside of her ear and a piece that actually attaches to her hair. So it's like a magnet. That is for kids who have more of a hearing loss than just like a hearing aid can't fix complete deafness in the ear. Right now she can hear a little bit, but it's just like certain sounds and certain noises without this, but it's not clear. She's actually, first she was in the mild to severe hearing loss, and then it actually went to severe to profound, and profound is like completely deaf. Like when they do her next hearing screen, if it's completely deaf, we're going to talk about getting a cochlear implant, which is very, very expensive, which means she would have to have surgery. They would have to.
I hear that implant that Bianca's talking about is upwards of $70,000 to $90,000. You know, it's a very expensive implant, but I would think, like, you know, for any of my kids, there is nothing that I would not do for any of my children. There is no amount of money that I would spend for any of my children. We're not here forever, and we're not here on this earth forever. We're not, none of us, all of us has an expiration date. That's one thing for sure. We all are going to be leaving, you know. So I would say, like, while we're here to make the best out of life, you know, you can't really put a price on certain things.
Go through her brain, and it's a long process, and it's a hard process. So she's gonna be wearing this. If you guys see this in her ear, this is what it's for, so that she can hear us, so she can, you know, be able to hear everything clearly. Because now she can still hear. It's just only clear through her right ear. Her left ear she can't really hear anything out of. So she has to wear that for 3 months until we figure out, you know, if it's working for her or not.
The procedure, if she do have to do a procedure, it is very expensive.
Very expensive.
But at the end of the day, it'll be worth it.
Yes.
Because it's our baby. She's our princess. One of our princesses. So, you know.
She's so sweet.
She is really knocked out. Literally before we did this video, she had poop really bad.
Oh my gosh, this is not the outfit she wore today, guys. It was a different Nike outfit. It was gray. She pooped all over that thing.
She pooped through her clothes. It was like, I was like, actually, I say, yo, B, what's that smell?
Yeah, he did. He was like, it's like sewer.
Like sewer, no. What that baby Ayla was like, it's her. I was like, oh my gosh.
Listen, guys, I'm gonna stop that video right there. But what I want to do is say this. For me, this is a very emotional video for me. Prayers out to Ayla, the Prince family, my kids, my grandkids. You know, and I just want them to know that everything is going to be okay. Ayla's going to have a lot of support no matter what. And I would say for like babies like Ayla, who's born with this type of thing, I don't want to call it a defect or a disability, it just sounds harsh. I want to just say babies who are born with this type of situation, I think that we can help teach them over the years as far as what happened, you know, what makes them different from the other brothers and sisters, as far as their hearing part process. You know, I'm hoping that the 80% chance that they said that would go to the other ear doesn't happen. We don't know what was gonna, you know, we're not gonna know what's gonna happen. You know, as far as how I found out about it, you know, like I have a lot going on in my personal life. It's you know, and, you know, I have a personal life off of YouTube. And, you know, I deal with things that's not associated with YouTube every day. And, you know, and sometimes when Damon and Bianca, when I'm around them, you know, we're doing regular stuff that regular people do because we're regular people at the end of the day. You can't really put a dollar amount on a person's status of like what they do every day. Like we sit around and watch television, we eat hamburgers, I get on my knees and run around the house on my knees, chasing DJ and Kyrie and Nova and wrestling on the floor with the kids. We just do regular stuff. And how I found out was Damon had said something the other day and it kind of knocked the socks off me. I was like, what did you just say? And he's like, we're taking Ayla tomorrow for her appointment for her hearing aid. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I didn't know anything about this. And Damon said, but Dad, I had mentioned something to you about it. I'm like, Damon, no, you didn't. You know, because we do talk a lot. And I'm like, if you would have mentioned something like that to me, I would have known. But it wouldn't have changed Ayla's condition. I mean, you know, whether he told me or not, I don't remember him telling me. And so for me, I was really shocked because, like, I told Damon, you know, out of all my kids that were born, even Dion's been here, what, almost 2 weeks now. You know, none of my kids have, you know, caught the backlash of any of the bad stuff that I used to do with my body back in the days. You know, like if you did drugs at a younger age, sometimes it could affect your kids. If you was an alcoholic at a certain age, it could affect your kids. Just all type of things that the man or woman can do that can affect their kids. You know, if they are born with a disability or something like that. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. But I really had no idea that Ayla was going through this until we were just having a conversation the other day. And the conversation came up about an appointment that they had the following day. So, like I said, I just, you know, I just felt the need to do this video because it was really heart-touching for me to have to see this. But let me know what you guys think of this video. Again, I'm not really looking for a like on this video because to me, there's nothing really to like about what I just found out about. But you guys can like the video, but that's up to you. I just ask that you leave me a positive comment. Let me know if you have somebody in your family or somebody that you know outside of your family who's going through a certain situation, similar situation. And did they have the same percentage that Ayla had as far as the 80% chance of it going through the other ear? And let me know in the comments if it actually went to the other ear. And how are they dealing with that situation right now to this day? But I'm gonna end this video off, man. Until next time, I love you guys. I'm Damian Kyrie. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn the bell on, that way you will be subscribed to the channel, but turning the bell on only means you are subscribed to the channel. You must turn on the other bell with the vibrating symbol. That way, every time I drop a video in the Kyrie family, you will be the first to get the post notification shout out. So before I end this off, I'm gonna do today's post notification shout out, and the post notification shout out goes to the entire Kyrie family. And I love you guys, and I'm gonna see you next time. Peace out.